yell at people all day long. All right, so this is our battle. This is our battle. You know, Martin Luther King in his speeches, some people say it was just about civil rights and all that kind of stuff. If you listen closely, so much of it is just about indifference. It's just about indifference, how he couldn't get people in the church structure to help him. And it's our same battle today. And we can do something about this, and that's what's beautiful. I'm never going to leave you guys without a solution today. I'm never going to leave you upset at people, I promise that, because this is going to be a positive message. This is a message about you. So how do we make something positive out of this issue? Now that we know that all these people discriminate. Okay, can anybody give a guess or no? Don't try, because there's a lot of slides ahead. Let's reflect on our values. This is the first thing we should do. Okay, I want to ask a question. You guys can answer this question. This is a better question to answer. Does anybody in their core values truly disagree with us about how to treat another human being? Does anybody? Do people want to discriminate people against their size, against the level of development? No, good. This is a good handshake. Everybody do what she's doing. Nobody wants to really do that. Our core values are all pro-life. Everybody across the board. There are a few really hard-hearted people, a few very angry people in the world, okay? And they just need somebody to love them. They need somebody to help them, to listen to them, and to listen to their grievances, and to find out why they feel so angry about the world. But for the rest of the people in this world, they can acknowledge, they can begin the process of acknowledging our core values. We do not treat our children this way. Our children are, in fact, good enough for us. All right, so maybe arguments are something that we can just say, maybe we don't have to do that. Why? Because we know that people agree with us, okay? We can move beyond debate. This is one of the major tenets of the personalism movement, is to move beyond debate, so we treat people the way we truly see for who they are. It's people who don't support that other side. How do we do this? We talk about their values. Those good values we just talked about, saying that we don't discriminate. No pro-lifer in this world wants to discriminate by being indifferent. We have to work with that. And there are very few pro-lifers out there who are saying that. Many pro-lifers are frustrated, angry. You know, they want to get people out by moral imperatives all the time. But if you just help people know what their values are, okay? And you let them know that you don't actually believe this. In fact, you want to be heroic. You want to save our children. You want to tell our future generations that our children were good enough for us. That's the message that we can start telling people. So let's have a pro-life conversation. For all you students out there, this is for you. Okay, this is one where I've debated, quote unquote, I've had a conversation really with over I can't even say over 5,000, who knows what the numbers, but thousands of students over the years, okay, or taught this method as well. Okay, how to have a pro-life conversation and not a debate. Okay, so let me pause real quick. That's what's going on. We're working with an alignment of values in our culture, and that's it. Aligning what people truly feel about treating other human beings with what their spoken label is, pro-life or supporter of legalized abortion. Okay? That's what's really going on. We're just helping people align. If you can keep this mindset, you'll be calm in every last conversation you have. You will never have to debate. Because you already know what's inside other human beings. The first step, if you can't read it, is acknowledge where other people are being compassionate. This is one of the biggest things that people get hooked on. When they start getting in conversations with people, they're like, well, the war can be justified by this and this and this and this and this. They can say, well, we're trying to help people and all this kind of stuff. But the very first point, acknowledging the goodness in another person, because you're trying to get to a greater goodness, how they know to treat preborns. So let them have it. Let them just acknowledge where they're being good, because you start by showing people that you treat people the way they treat people, and hopefully being gracious will allow you to show them that they treat people the way you treat people. I hope I said that correct. Not always tongue-tied. All right? So you probably can't read that then, because I can't. It says, abortion supporter will say, you can't talk about children unless you're willing to take care of all of those children. You can't talk about abortion. Okay? And a debate person will say, that's like saying slavery shouldn't be outlawed unless you're willing to take care of and freed slaves. But that just addresses their intellect. It doesn't address their heart. There are 3 steps to a good pro-life conversation. This is step 1. All right? They care passionately about children. A conversation reply would say something like, it's a great thing that you care that strongly for children. They need our utmost attention because they are so dependent on others. We just took their argument out of their hands saying it's too dependent, and we used it for our side. We put compassion back on the side of preborns. Okay? We put compassion back on the side of preborns so that, and before they could ever say something like that, Because we're bringing out their values from the start. We acknowledge where they're being compassionate. And there are more examples of this. I'm running through just one right now. Step 2 is to differentiate between social and ethical concerns. And this is where you look smart. If you can separate these two, that's great. Why? What did they ask? How are you going to take care of all those children? That's a social question. That's not an ethical question about preborns. They completely neglected and omitted the existence of preborns. They discriminated. We're trying to answer the discrimination. We're going to do that by differentiating, okay? 2 possible parts exist in nearly every question. Some just want to say that preborns are no good, and I just typically just say, and then we start talking about something else, all right? Express this to your conversation. Just tell them that. There too. And once you get past the social issue, once you're done talking about why don't we take care of all of our children as well as we could? And get into it. Show them that you care. We're not cold. We're not just trying to we're not just a giant baby factory country, We're actually a very compassionate country. We show them that in behaviors. This is the turning point in the conversation. A solution to one problem, the social problem, does not necessarily solve the other problem, the ethical problem. And that's clarity. That's clarity that you can give to any person you have a conversation with, okay? So the top bar says, so what will you do with all those children? That's what they'll typically reply with. The debate reply would probably go something like, we can't kill them. I mean, there's a human being right there. It's a human life. It goes through the entire list of pro-life assertions that you could make, all right? But this is an ethical reply to a social question. It's not a useful answer. So you're not really getting anywhere. And this is where things break down in conversations, right? So the conversation reply will be if abortion becomes illegal, pro-lifers and hopefully everyone will have to put all their money and time into helping women, marginalized mothers, and the preborns, okay? Because most questions about abortion have a social and ethical part. The social problem, like caring for children, needs to be addressed socially. And then talk about how you can do that. Talk about what you've done. If you're a compassionate person, if you truly put yourself out there, this is the easiest thing in the world to do. But if you're not, there's only one solution to it. Volunteer at the Women's Resource Centers. Put on baby supply drives. Do everything so you can tell people this is what the pro-life movement is doing. Research what Heartbeat is doing. Research what CareNet is doing. It's good, and it'll help you with any conversation you have. Okay, it's just 3 steps. The last step is this. Explain and develop your common values. This is your fundamental common values. Okay, this is not just common ground. I know that's Stephen Wagner's thing. This is the common values that you share. It's not just that you both dislike third trimester abortions. It's that you don't like abortion at all. All right? This means saying something like, something we can do now is to look at how both you and I know to treat people. And that's just something, it's just a transition. Just say, we know how to treat people. So why don't we just talk about that for a little bit. All right? You know that they don't base the right to life on anything like size, for example, so frame this fact as something you both agree upon. This is a way of doing it. Okay? This is a matter of clarification and alignment, not debate. So step 3, they typically don't say anything at this point because you want to initiate conversation, you want to push the conversation to the ethical side. So the pro-lifer can say, you've shown that you care deeply about children. If you don't mind, I would like to explore this further and see if we actually both want to treat children and all people in the same way. We've just taken the step to the ethical side. All right? After we've addressed the social side, the abortion supporter, they always, in my experience with thousands of students, it's always this. Okay. Because they're not going to turn you down. That's what they came to ask. Pro-lifer says something that we know about newborns is that they're completely dependent on their mother's love. Like you said, they need our care. Neither you nor I, and correct me if I'm wrong, would say that it's okay to take someone's life because they are simply dependent on someone. So you just affirm their value. Affirm what's good. We can win this with just a positive message. Okay? The abortion supporter, again, I can't disagree with that. We should. All right? Some people say that preborns, or they might be like, well, I see where you're going with it, try to be smart. Just keep going. Some people say that preborns can be killed because they're dependent on their mothers. We both just affirm that this isn't a good reason to take someone's life, and that's a good thing. Bring out their goodness. Believe it or not, they have it. As much as we want to call them the side of evil, there's still something there. They may want to espouse all of these horrible, tragic ways of looking at human beings. But at their heart, there's still something there that's good. And we know that. It's not like Darth Vader or anything. You guys have seen the right, nobody's still good.